rise and grind, folks. It is a rainy Friday morning. Guys, I'm on the way to another heat maintenance. I believe we came out there last fall or last winter. The only thing I remember is I remember coming out there on the weekend. Guys, this customer has a steam boiler. This is technically an existing maintenance agreement customer. I believe I had to replace the Pressure-trol, and I think I extended it further away from the boiler. You guys will see once I get there. I think with that steam boiler, I'm gonna have to drain it down. I believe I drained it down last year and I cleaned the sight glass, but guys, depending on how the water level looks, like if not the water level, depends on the condition of the water inside the sight glass. If that water is like murky, then I'm just gonna flush it, clean the sight glass, fill it up, and I'm also gonna clean out that pigtail. But guys, I'm gonna shoot more when I get there. I'm walking around the corner. I will see you guys when I get there. See you in a little bit. All right, guys. This is our piece of art. I just turned the thermostat on. And guys, they got a vent kit. The vent for the steam boiler is not going into a chimney. I think I made a short about this vent kit. You guys can check that out. But the vent kit turned on first, and then, well, first I turned the thermostat on, and then I came down here, the vent kit started first, and then my burners literally just kicked in. But I don't have to run this thing long enough to start it. The biggest thing we want to look at here on this steam boiler, and by the way, this is gas. This is a Crown 100,000 BTU steam gas boiler. And guys, the biggest thing I'm looking at here, two things: the water level, and I'm looking at the condition of the water. And guys, remember, I believe I made either a short or a service call about this. Last time I came out here last year, this is the first time customer last year, that Pressure-trol was shot. I tried cleaning the pigtail and putting the old Pressure-trol back in. It didn't work. So I went to the supply house and I got a new Pressure-trol, and I extended it further away because the old Pressure-trol, when you twisted it, it scraped the side of the boiler. So that doohickey there is what you see, what I did last year. But guys, that sight glass is as clean as you're going to see. I don't think I even have to flush this boiler. And my PSI is at 0, which is what it should be at. Yeah, guys. But what I'm going to do is, I'm still going to test that Pressure-trol. I want to pull out those burners and clean them. Let me kill the switch. You guys see, I threw 3/4 boiler cap on here because this thing was leaking. Yep. Let's take these burners out and clean them. I'll see you in a little bit. All right, guys. I thought they had another unit here. This is just the power vent and water heater turning on. But guys, if you've seen my video from yesterday, you remember how I told you that burners on steam boilers accrue more wear and tear than burners on hot water boilers? This is exactly what I meant. And I just cleaned some rust from the bottom of the boiler. And guys, this is just sediment and buildup. You don't want this to clog up your burners. Otherwise, this can make the boiler run very, very inefficiently. If not, the burners are not going to ignite at all. And it's similar to a car. For you car mechanics out there that do HVAC as well, what do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If all 7 of these burners do not fully light, then you're going to have issues. And you could also have backdraft, meaning carbon monoxide issues. So it's very important that on steam boiler maintenance, you guys pull these burners and you inspect them and clean them if you guys do see scale or buildup. And like I said, I got a bunch of bottles of Simple Green. I don't get too crazy. I just dampen it. Sometimes I use water. Sometimes I just use a little bit of Simple Green and I just wipe these burners down. But yeah, something like this I always like to bring to the customer's attention, because most of the time they're not going to notice this until something's already broken down, and now they're probably going to be at the point of replacing the boiler. So things like this you definitely want to be proactive with, and make sure, like I said, you're not skimming through steam boiler maintenances. I always look at the steam boiler in two different parts. You got your water circuit with your Pressure-trol, your sight glass, and then you have your burner section, similar to an AC unit. You know how inside you have your evap coil, you got your drains, your filter, your run cap on your blow motor, blah, blah, blah. And then outside you have your condenser. That's exactly how I look at my boilers, whether it be gas or whether it be hot water or steam. I look at my controls external from how I look at the burners, just to make sure I know I don't miss anything. So, all right guys, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean these down and I'll put these back in, and then I'm gonna test that Pressure-trol there. And what I'm on, I don't even think I gotta drain this boiler down. I'm gonna take that pigtail out and I'm gonna clean it, because yeah guys, my water level is lower than the pigtail. So my water level on the boiler is here. If it was higher, then I'll have to drain it down at least below the pigtail level before I unscrew it. Because if I don't drain the boiler down first and I'll start unscrewing that pigtail, you could have water come out the pigtail, and that's going to be a disaster. So yeah, let me clean these burners and I'll get to the other side when I get to it. I'll see y'all in a little bit. All right guys, I put my burners back in, and also I took one wire off my flame rollout switch to make sure that it killed the burners, and it did. So everything inside is rocking and rolling. And there is also a block vent switch higher up, but that block vent switch is manual reset. So what this means, guys, if something happens to the stack temperature, if the vent temperature gets too high, God forbid, let's say if a bird or something flies in the vent pipe and that causes backdraft, and the temperature on top of the boiler, which is right near the stack, gets too high, if this trips, this doesn't automatically reset. This is a manual reset. So the only thing I can do is just take the wire off this to test it to make sure it works. But this rollout switch, technically, it's auto reset. Whenever that rollout switch senses high temperature, it opens up. But once that rollout switch itself cools down, it will automatically reset. It's like a bimetal that warps and contrasts. It expands and it does that. But all right, I'm gonna put this door back in, and I'm gonna check my pigtail loop, and I'm gonna check my water circuit. But let me pack this up and I'll be right back. All right guys, I actually got two more calls that just came in. I gotta go look at another steam boiler. I believe that's a steam boiler maintenance, and then I gotta go to another furnace no heat call. So unfortunately, I wanted to spend a little bit more time here to go over some of the controls, but I gotta stay on top of my time here on this job. Now guys, real quick, this is a steam boiler. Remember guys, steam boilers doesn't utilize a circulator pump. It basically pressurizes water, converts it to steam, and that steam pressure rises. It fills up the radiator. Radiator gives off the heat to the colder house, and that steam turns back to water, and then the cycle continues again. Now real quick guys, anytime you have a steam boiler, you will most likely have one of these. This is the Pressure-trol. This is what monitors the steam pressure in the boiler. God forbid, if the steam pressure gets too high, which is what you'll see here on the pressure gauge, this is what's going to turn your boiler off. That's why on every maintenance, it's best to turn the boiler off, drain it down, make sure you can see your sight glass, make sure the water is not murky. You want it to be just like this. See how clear that is? You can see it. Now, if this whole thing was dirty, I'll have to drain it down, similar to what I did last year. Take it apart, clean it, and refill it. But this is exactly what you want to see. You want to see a visible water level. But real quick, with this Pressure-trol, you never have to adjust this. And God forbid, you can always consult with the manufacturer as far as where they want you to set the pressure troll at. But these pressure trolls already come preset at 1 psi. Remember, it's main minus differential. So real quick, you got a 2 psi main and you got a 1 psi differential. So 2 minus 1 is 1 psi. So if the steam pressure, sorry, I gotta focus this camera. If the steam pressure gets to 1 psi, it's going to turn the boiler off. That doesn't mean that something's wrong. That means that the pressure in this boiler is too high. The boiler has to relieve itself of the pressure, probably cycle a few times. And once the steam pressure gets below that 1 psi, that's when this pressure troll is going to re-engage and turn the burners on. So very, very important, guys. For this particular one, it should be at 2 and 1, but always consult with the manufacturer. Do not go off of how other boilers are. Worst case, always consult with the manufacturer. Like I said, you can either call tech support or look at the manual. That if you're replacing one of these, look at the manual. It'll tell you exactly what it should be at. But you never want to guesstimate, and God forbid, have this thing set too high. And if you set the pressure troll limit too high, that's going to be the same as not even having this. And in the event that the pressure goes too high in this boiler, that can be a very, very dangerous scenario. But in this case, guys, what I'm going to do is I got to go to the truck, because what I want to do, I'm going to get my channel locks, turn the power off, get my Phillips head screwdriver, take these 2 spade connectors off, and I'm going to take this pigtail out and run it with some water. And yeah, guys, but what I really wanted to do, I wanted to drain this thing and test the low water cutoff, but putting 2 and 2 together, like you said, we definitely drained this thing real good last year, and the fact that the water level is still good, I wanted to drain this thing all the way down to make sure that the low water cutoff light turned on. And I actually adjusted this water feeder last year. You guys once again can check out that shirt to see what I did, but I got to go to the truck and get my channel lock so I can take this pigtail out and clean it. But guys, I got 2 other jobs to get to. I got to definitely stay efficient on this Friday morning here. But once I clean the pigtail, I'll reassemble it, put the cover back on, and like I said, guys, we're rocking and rolling. My supply pipe is already burning hot, so I wouldn't doubt it if a few of the radiators is already hot upstairs. I only had this thing running for like 5 minutes. But yeah, guys, let me kill the power. I'm gonna go to the truck and get my stuff, clean this pigtail, put it back together, and I'm gonna get up out of here. And I'll see you guys on the next stop. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.